start messing with.
They feel. And since I'm here, I'm about to do what I feel. Start the 5-second delay now.
Now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to halftime at the Grammys. KW State.
Oh, that's right.
JFU.
I remember that. I remember that. I know something that you don't know.
And we're live.
You know what? I'm gonna make it do.
Oh, we're live. Let me go live here.
I've been here 2 years in a row. If I don't win, it's finna be a problem. We don't want no problems, do we?
Well, I got a woman way over town that's good to me. Oh yeah. Now for the national anthem. She take my wallet. Well, I'm in need. Yes, it's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a digger that digs on me.
Well, here they come. Here they come. We want 3 mil.
Yeah.
And 100.
I see what this is. We got the gold diggers against the broke. Assume the broke position.
Broke fight, broke.
The broke position.
And we ain't got nobody for them. We ain't got it. Broke. We ain't got it. Broke. We ain't got no money. Ain't got no money. Ain't got no clothes. Ain't got no clothes. Ain't got no car. Can't get no house.
No,
Oh. There's them horns. Yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Now that's an intro. That's how you bring in the Mick and Rick show, coach.
that's how you do it.
That's how you bring it. Let's get hyped for this piece. Ah.
Look me over. Tell me, do you like what you see? Hey, I ain't got no money, but honey, I'm rich on personality. Hey, check it all out. Better now, just might be too late. Screw gon' chain tonight. It's gotta be better life. Somebody take my picture with all this rain inside. Really, mama.
Whoa.
Job down in the city, working for the man night and day. Ever get alone, one little sleeping. Well, about the way things might get big. It will keep on turning. There's a problem, people are burning. Oh, they're rolling down the river. See, we're rolling.
You hear them horns, coach? Them horns are just blowing. Oh my gosh.
With Julian White horns.
Oh.
Go ahead, Hunter. Hubba. And welcome to the Mick and Rich show. Does it sound like it's going to be a little bit different? That's because it is. Got our frat brother, Dr. Julian E. for Excellent White, coming on in a few minutes. And those are just some of those that somebody already said. See, so we heard you. Great memories. Y'all remember those times? Which one did you like better? Which one you think had the biggest effect? Which one you think affected our university and our Marching 100 recruitment the most? Prince was kind of tight, but Gold Digger was pretty awesome too. We
Yeah.
appreciate you, Cecil. And in fact, when we get the maestro on here, he could tell you straight from the horse's mouth what he thought, because he might say something different. But we were able to watch that one on TV. We ain't see him in France and
Mm-mm.
all the other places they went.
I saw him in
We
France.
we
I
saw
saw
that.
him in France.
Yeah, we did. And Cecil already put his vote in. He said all of them. He said all of them.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
he said the one with Prince.
That was awesome. That
That
joint was
was
just
awesome.
awesome.
You know, you had to really watch it to know the 100 were out there the whole time.
Mhm.
You know, they were out there the whole time to be in that Super Bowl. That's one of the most memorable Super Bowl halftime performances in the history of the Super Bowl.
Indeed.
But
And think
without
about that
further,
Super
go ahead.
Coach, before you go, think about that Super Bowl. It was the Soul Bowl because it was the first time two black coaches faced off against one another when Chicago took over Indianapolis, Tony Dungy and Lovie Smith. So that whole, even though it rained that night, that whole atmosphere was just electric. And the 100 with Prince, that topped it off.
Yeah. That really was special. Not trying to slow down and change what we do. Go on and give us our did you know for the week. You always enlighten us with something, and we have some new listeners. We appreciate y'all being on. We know y'all here to see the maestro, to see Dr. White, and we appreciate you being here. If you're new to the Mick and Rick show, subscribe to us. Click thumbs up. Let us know that you like this type of program, and let us know. We'll be able to get the legend back on again. Again, this show is running on INSiiGHTS YouTube, INSiiGHTS Facebook, INSiiGHTS Roku, on your mobile telephone apps. One thing we know that we won't have any copyright. There you go with that phone. You can get it on your phone. We won't have any copyright issues on our channel, on the INSiiGHTS Roku channel, and on your mobile apps. Might have one on Facebook and YouTube, but you won't have one on the mobile app, so you'll be able to see it all. But Rick, hit us with your did you know?
All right, Coach. Well, everyone has heard of Ken Griffey Jr. because he had one of the sweetest and effortless swings in the history of baseball. Such beauty, so smooth. Man, it reminds me of, well, never mind. But, Coach, did you know that Griffey was allergic to chocolate? What's ironic about that, Coach, is that he had a chocolate candy bar named after him despite being allergic to it. So it's more than likely he never even tasted the candy bar named after him. Ain't that something?
Well, for the right money, you'll have anything named after you if you like it or not, for the right money.
Facts, facts,
Hey,
facts.
they might have handed me the piece of that chocolate candy and took an injection immediately after for the right dojo.
Hey, yeah, make sure you have one of the pins just in case.
Just in case. Hey, for the right support, you'll change your colors to purple and gold. Oh, I hear you, Cecil. I totally agree.
The Los Angeles Lakers? Yeah, I got one more.
Hey, okay.
This is something you may know. In 1919, Cleveland Indian pitcher Ray Caldwell recorded a complete game despite being struck by lightning in the game. Okay, look, it was 2 hours when the skies just opened up and lightning hit the guardrails, traveled down, and then through the mound, hitting Caldwell. After a few minutes on the ground, he reportedly got up and said, "Give me the ball." And he got the final out to complete the complete game. I guess that means they really don't make them like they used to, Coach.
Or was that his ghost and spirit pitching? I'm just saying.
Ooh, it is
that
October.
Ghost and spirit. Yes, we hear you. That's DJ Full Effect, man. If y'all get some mixes coming in, we on late. It's gonna come from DJ Full Effect. After dark with DJ Full Effect on your Roku channel. Man, you keep coming up with something. I said, where is he going with? He's allergic to chocolate, you know. But I'm gonna come back if I need to explain to y'all about this Cleveland Brown gear. We shocked the world this weekend. We shocked the world. Yes, we did. But without further ado, the legend, a young man who always helped us in every step of the way. When I was at Florida A&M, we always like to say he changed a rule. We didn't have a band. I mean, nobody had a pet band in women's sports, in women's basketball, but FAMU did. We had a pet band in Gaither Gym, and we were in a conference because nobody really cared about women's sports. And in our conference was Florida International, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Stetson, Mercer. We were the only HBCU there. We pretty much ran through that league regular season and conference championship. And two things we did. We changed the dress code at the banquet, and because we always went to the banquet late, and we had our young ladies dressed. You know, the sisters could dress. And when we strolled in, we were the #1 ranked team in the conference, and we strolled into the banquet. Everybody stopped eating to watch the Rattlerettes walk in. I mean, so from then on, everybody else tried to dress to impress, but we set the tone with that. But our band was going so strong, and nobody else had one. And that was during a time that everywhere we went to play, the first $1 million question was, how do you get so many people at your Florida A&M women's games? Even the Democrat wanted to know, how did we get so many people in the game when they were not doing news promos about us? I said, well, one thing we do, our student body is strong, they're behind us, and we go to WA&M radio, and everybody, all our constituents listen to WA&M. So even though you think you're not promoting us and promoting FSU was hurting us, it didn't matter because most of us weren't reading the Democrat anyway. But we owe Joe Bullitt and we owe Dr. White. Dr. White was the same when we were director of student activities and we had Friday night strikes, and he would send his freshmen over there to perform at Bragg Memorial parking lot. I remember one time I was in student activities and we had the parade in the middle of the set on Friday, and they came through the set. We closed the set down, and the band performed in there. We had them at the Boosters Brunch. I mean, everything that we did, this man was a part of our success, and we owe him tremendously. Dr. Julian White. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Dr. White.
Yes, sir, Mick. Rick, let me tell you something, guys. This is about the third time that I've been on your show, and I want you to know how honored I am to be a part of the communication that you give to the Rattler Nation and really to HBCU bands and football period. I'm honored to be here with you.
Doc, we absolutely love having you on. Every time you come on, you always bring us something new, and you bring us some energy, and your spirit illuminates. And you see, we even started, with some of your past accomplishments. There's so many that we would end up doing the whole show. Facts.
Well, I'll tell you this. As I said, I'm honored. And I heard you talking about the greatest halftime show and which is which. I saw a poll last year where they mentioned that the Prince FAMU show was the greatest in the history of the Super Bowl. And it was a very, very fine performance, gentlemen. It was quite different. They had lights on us, battery-powered lights on every member of the band. And so they turned the lights out, and you could see the illumination of those lights on the band uniforms. And it was tremendous. The one thing about that Super Bowl, though, it rained cats and dogs. I mean, it just rained. It rained so much, but we still performed. And then afterwards, I'll tell you this too before we go on. One of the girls, somehow the electricity, the wire broke, and she was actually being electrocuted, moving around, and we thought she was dancing. But finally, I realized she was not, and I jumped on top of it, snapped that thing off, because she was about to be electrocuted. I electrocuted, and I felt a little bit of it too. So that was memorable. And I would take the Super Bowl show with Prince and the band performance in Paris. Among the other greats, I think those two were the greatest.
Wow. Doc, I absolutely have to read a comment that somebody just sent about you. I have to be able to pull it up. And they said, Dr. White helped me so much when I worked in the Career Center and returned my call, provided entertainment for our corporate partners. Thank you, Dr. White. That's from Cecil. He remembers how you helped him out over there, and wanted to let you know that he appreciate your help and what you did. See, it wasn't just me, Doc. It wasn't just me.
Working at FAMU was a pleasure, and I have always said that we are servants of goodwill. We were and still is our servants for the Florida A&M University, and so to help out, it's good to hear a former student say that we helped them out of the student union building, because giving service really is one of the main entrances, of one of the main components of what we do, rendering and giving back service to the university.
Why is that, Doc?
Well, because you see, the band would not be what it is if it was not for the student body. And folks say, well, the band was better than the football team, and we can have this and we can have that. But if there was no football game, there would be no lead for the halftime show. If we didn't play for the women basketball league, then at this time, there would not be pep bands at traditional female basketball games. So really, it's a matter of giving service to the university. And I continue to say, without football, without athletics, there would not be a need for a band. And so that's kind of our motto, giving service back to the university and the sports that made us famous.
Well, Doc, thank you. Those are some powerful words there. Good question, Rick. And one of the things that I'm really proud of is the high number of graduates you've had from music that have gone on. And you see your legacy in every high school band everywhere. You see what happened from Dr. Foster to you down in Shelby. I mean, y'all were the three main ones that really carried it on and established the tradition that you took so seriously, as you were a member of the 100 and were a part of it, that you were indoctrinated in it. Tell us a little bit about Dr. Foster's influence on you.
Well, let me tell you something. Dr. Foster was my mentor. I was with him from the time I was in high school until he passed away. And Doc set the stage. For modern bands in America, he set the stage. The innovations that he created over those years, he was band director for about 52 years. And the electricity that he put into the band performances, 30 new innovations that he established. And so he was really the start of all of this. I was proud to have been his student. And across America, FAMU band, former band members are very fine musicians. In fact, even right here in Tallahassee, Scotty Barnhart, who was really the director of the Duke Ellington band. And he's revolutionizing jazz band, taking that from the 40s to now, taking that to another level. Wycliffe Gordon, who played with Wynton Marsalis, gave a concert this past Thursday in Lee Hall Auditorium. And the place was packed
Wycliffe is a great musician and again a product of Florida A&M. If you look at the bands throughout the nation, and you will see that the leading marching, high school marching bands are really products of student former members of the FAMU band. And you could also go to the universities. Jerome Reed just took over at Morgan State. We have Warren Duncan at Tennessee, not at Tennessee, I'm sorry, but at Tuskegee Institute. And the list just goes on and on because of that background, because of that formation that Dr. Foster established over the years. And, you know, as I mentioned, he was my mentor. I met him when I was in high school. He conducted an honor band that I was in. I fell in love with the band. My brother played with the band. My sister played in the band. My nephew played in the band. My cousin. So really, being in the band was a white tradition. And so that is the kind of thing that really just took HBU bands up to another level. And they continue to thrive. They continue to really set the pace. And when I say HBCU bands, I would have to say really that you'll notice many of the Big Ten band, the Pac-8, all of those bands, SEC, you will notice that those bands are starting to adopt some of the things that we do at Florida A&M. And so it just shows the kind of impetus that we established among bands in America, not just HBCU bands, but bands in America. And we continue with Dr. Shelby Chipman. He continued to continue the legacy, and we are proud of the work that he's doing too. So I know that Doc is looking down saying, look at my boys go, I train them well.
Wow, Doc, what high school was that you went to in Jacksonville?
New Staten Senior High School, one of the best high school bands probably in the nation as far as history is concerned. They were great. I was a student in that band. I was the band captain, saxophone section leader, and piccolo section leader. And really just a great, great high school band. And we emulated ourselves after the great Florida A&M University Marching Band. But Mick and Rick, just a very, very fine high school marching band, high school and concert marching band.
Yeah, that was the high school my dad went to. Y'all go back.
Oh, let me tell you about that too. Rick, he mentioned his baseball.
Yes, sir.
He and my daddy, my brother, played baseball together. Mick's father was a mentor to my brother. And so that's really how we connected because of his father and my brother. And you talk about, he was modest. You talk about some great baseball players. Those guys were great. And I watched them play. I could play all sports. I could play basketball, football, track, volleyball, everything, but I wasn't good at anything. But I could play. And just watching Coach Mickey Clay's father and my brother play was really an inspiration. I think it had a lot to do with the tenacity and with the passion that I have for band. You know, no matter what you're doing, you've got to have a love. You have to have a love and a passion to what you're doing. And just watching those guys play back in the day, I was somewhere in elementary, junior high school, middle school, but just watching those guys play certainly inspired me along the way.
Well, Cecil again said you helped him raise $75,000 for IBM for the Career Center by having 100 perform at their last career fair at the Civic Center. Just memories for y'all. And then we have another comment from Leslie Brown. He said, academic excellence and musicianship. Doc Foster set the stage and Dr. White continued the legacy. Truly an inspiration, and I was proud to be in the number. Hashtag woodwinds, hashtag piccolos. We appreciate the comments and messages that y'all are sending to Dr. White, and I know he appreciates them.
I certainly appreciate it. And the young lady who mentioned the academics, they come first. Academics, achievement in academics, precision in marching. Those are words from the motto of the Florida A&M Band. And you know, you've got to do well academically, because if you're going to exceed or succeed in the 100, you've got to do well academically, because it's really a kind of academic organization the things we do with pre-drill and learning how to read music charts, band charts, and music for band formation charts, really, it takes some intellect of that to make those things happen. And to hear her say, to mention academics, really, I think brings a broad focus to this radio cast, television cast, because academics is the basis for it all. And none of our former students, Scotty, Wycliffe, any of those would be as good as they are, would not be as good as they are now, had it not been for the emphasis on academics.
Got a surprise for you, Dr. White. You can't fool us.
Well, I hear those cadences. That's the 100. Nowhere else, nobody else. That's Dr. Sheila James' work.
Okay, y'all. It's go time.
Getting ready to play some. Here's some music for you. And it's not but a few of them, but listen how they sound.
Happy birthday.
Can you hear that? And that's with about 10 people. Just listen to those through the phone. You know, God, I can't believe you did that. Mickey, you had us doing that, didn't you?
Yeah, they taped it and put it up there, and I found it and put it on the show.
You know what? Yeah, they came by my house and surprised me with those former band members who did a salute. And they sound well.
Somebody made a comment. Listen to the piccolo. They're missing notes.
Piccolo. Jennifer. Yep.
Is that you, Leslie?
That's Rev John Paul coming back. He's on the faculty at Florida A&M now. And those guys.
One more time.
Yeah, we had a whole lot of fun, man. I think I had to sit in the hot tub for about a week after that.
That's her on the piccolo.
She can play. Jennifer Theisen, that's her name, Jennifer Theisen. She is an outstanding band now in Mississippi.
Doc White, you look like you still have some moves.
Oh, I can still do a few things. I can still get married, and I'm good for about 50 yards, and I know where to start.
Thank you, great job. Now, I know you got this in the cafeteria.
Yeah, I appreciate those guys doing that. To take the time out.
Let's take it one more time.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed it. Good time.
Good time, yep.
You know, it's just amazing that those few band members can get such a sound.
Temporary labor.
Good time. Easy to play the riff off.
Good time.
I just saw Don Roberts' name. Yeah, well, you can see there's a whole lot of energy being expended there too. They're getting ready to bring it off now. Yeah, boy, those guys are tough. So ladies and gentlemen, verifying musicians. Lots of energy.
And the sound is so crisp. Jeez.
Yeah. Those guys
Imagine if the whole band was, oh my goodness.
I think you see me, I went back and marched the graph, bringing them out. There goes the last player, last uniform player. Yeah, so we had a good time.
It's around the way to go.
Yeah, we had a good time. They took time out of their schedules to come to help me celebrate my birthday, and I can't ever thank those folks enough. And really, all former members of the March 100, and even the present, they take such good care of me, and making sure that I'm in the loop with everything. And certainly, I'm very proud of the kind of things that they're doing now at Florida A&M.
Well, Dr. White, you are that humble person and always about that orange and green, and we appreciate it. And that was one of the things we wanted to do in putting this together for you, was to kind of catch you off guard just a little bit.
You did.
All the things that you've done for the university.
Well, you did catch me off guard, Mick and Rick. You did, and I appreciate it. Sometimes I guess you guys may not realize the impact that your show that you do have in the HBCU community, because somebody has to be the spokesperson for what we do for HBCU bands, HBCU athletics, HBCU academics. And you guys really do a good job. You're modest, you spread the word. And Mick, the times we had when you were the director of alumni affairs, the things you did to publicize the band, the photos, the plaques, the trophies that you had down in that room, they just meant so much to me and so much to many other people associated with the Florida A&M University. And I'm just proud to be a part of it, proud to work with you and Rick and Mick. I thank you so much, you guys, for inviting me to be a part of this great show. I appreciated it.
No, thank you, Doc. Gee.
Yeah. And so we can't thank you enough, Doc, for all that you've done. That's why I tried to share some of the things that you had done for Mickey Clayton along the way in every stop that I had at the institution. And we always have a vision, and that vision is to serve. And we try to enhance the experience for our students, for our alumni, for our faculty, to enhance it. So sometimes, when you have a creative idea, it doesn't go far if nobody supports it. But you, being who you are, always supported those ideas. And when we would come to you about it, sometimes they were things we had did back in the past. Sometimes they were things that we knew and wanted to try, but you would always be involved with it and make it a success. And I remember when we was coaching the women's basketball games, man, I'd come up there to y'all with Prof. Bing and just say thank you, I remember the pep band just going crazy when I would come up there, because they said nobody ever came up and just said thank you and showed appreciation. Man,
absolutely. And Mick, what else too? Now remember, we were in Fort Lauderdale, somewhere down there, and you all had won the championship and qualified for NCAA. We had to leave Miami, come to Tallahassee, get a change of clothes, uniforms, and get back on the bus and go. I think it was to Indiana. I don't remember quite now, but it was quite a treat and an ordeal to go from Miami to way in the Midwest. But we did that because, and she too,
we win the conference championship game, and we had won 4 games in 5 days.
Absolutely.
And that band pulled up, and I was so glad to see her. But I said, "Oh Lord, they staying in the same hotel we at." And the pep band got out, and the cheerleaders got out. I said, "Oh Lord, we got to try to keep these guys head focused." Because the band would come and the cheerleaders would come and they'd have a great time. And I said, no. I got them off before they got off the bus. I said, just give us one night so we could get through. And they said, Coach, we got you. But after that, we're going to turn it out. I said, well, when we win it, everybody going to turn it out.
One thing, Mick, though, I couldn't say no. Anytime he came to ask us to do something, I don't care how inconvenient it might be, if Mick asked us to do it, we were going to do it. And I want to mention, too, before we sign out, ESPN is doing a Band of the Year, a series that the bands are adjudicated every week. And in the final analysis, the Celebration Bowl, 2 bands will be crowned a Division I, Division II Band of the Year. And so tune in on it. I just met with one of my former students, and he's in charge of it, Don Roberts. And you look at the bands and look to see, because I think you will enjoy it. It's a really big thing with ESPN. And they're going to have ESPN Band Day, Game Day, I'm sorry. So if you have time, tune in, guys. You're really going to enjoy it. You're going to see some great bands, including the Florida A&M Band.
Yes, they're having a national HBCU band championship. And the guy who helped coordinate it with ESPN, John Grant, from the Celebration Bowl, we have him on a couple times a year. And we touched on it in August. And they were going to do their kickoff game. And I said that we'll bring you back on so that we could talk specifically about the band. And they started the rankings. And I think the first ranking, FAMU band, was 6th or 7th or something like that. You know.
Well, you know what, though? I think that may have been one that were not adjudicated by an expert musical former band director and legendary directors. So I think you're going to see some great halftime shows. You're going to see some great bands, and I think that you're going to enjoy it. And yes, Mr. John Grant is really, he's the promotional leader of it, and he's done a great job, along with Don Roberts, who's the president and CEO of Drumline Live.
Mm-hmm. Well, we appreciate that info, Doc, and we're glad you were able to get on. We thought you were able to work through some technical difficulties, but we appreciate you being here. And we say we always have Doc on at least once a year. Sometimes we lucky enough to pull him back for an extra year, but we love having him on. And it's always one of our more popular watch segments of Mick and Rick.
And I certainly enjoy being with you, and I appreciate your kind invitation each time that I'm invited to be a part of your show.
Doc, we appreciate you. The comments already coming in. I see Cecil say pure hate. And somebody else says it's silent segment. But they also said it's not how we start, it's how we finish.
That's right.
I like the pure hate. I looked at that list like I said, they got this many bands out of the 500 bands they got in the country that's better than us. So I don't care what they say. Cecil, I'm going to go with you. I like that pure hate.
What was that make?
Ridiculous.
And I said, I like Cecil saying that it was pure hate. And so we need to make sure we're involved with it, get everybody aware of what's going on, Doc. And we might have to get John back on and have you come on with John. I know John.
Yes, in fact, I was on the phone yesterday with Mr. Grant and Mr. Don Roberts. We talked about the Celebration Bowl, those kind of things. So, yes, that would be a very interesting show. And we just had a great time like yesterday promoting and getting the kind of things in order that's really going to publicize the event a great deal, because it's going to be historic And I definitely invite you all to be a part of it, to be a part of that audience, and encourage your friends to do the same thing.
Doc, we appreciate you being with us, and we appreciate you for the future, because we know that we'll get you back on again real soon.
Well, thank you. And the next time I will do more practicing with the technology. I'm good at music, but I'm not so good with technology.
Oh, you're great, Cup. You're great, Doc. Don't worry about it. You all right.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, take care now.
Thank you.
I liked it on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter. INSiiGHTS.
Yeah.
2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
All right, y'all.
Who would have imagined the impact three girls from three different places would collectively have on the game of women's college basketball? Based on their high school rankings alone, we knew the state of Minnesota's Paige Buckers, Iowa's Caitlin Clark, and Maryland's Angel Reese could be good. Buckers was the top-rated player coming out of the state of Minnesota. Clark was second, while Reese was fourth in 2020. The trio, however, have been at the forefront of not only elevating their teams, but also helping take the women's game to new heights. Casual fans became enamored with Iowa mostly because of the highlight reel shooting of Clark. Much like the NBA's Steph Curry, anytime and anywhere Clark would shoot, it was a good shot. Add a bit of trash talking, the subtle elongated follow through on a pure jump shot, and Clark became the player you just had to see for yourself. There's a reason Iowa set the women's attendance record for a basketball game, as more than 55,000 people packed the Iowa football stadium to see the reigning Naismith National Player of the Year Clark drop an emphatic 34-point triple-double in a charity exhibition game against DePaul this past Sunday. You see, Americans love greatness. Speaking of greatness, let's not sleep on LSU's Reese, who could put down the pill and instantly become a fashion model. But don't let a pretty face fool you. When she steps between the lines, she will knock an opponent down quicker than Bill Lambier. And if you want to talk trash, you've got the right one. Just ask Clark, who was on the receiving end of the trash talk in the title game that LSU won last year. Reese is a beast to handle on both ends of the court, but displays it with the grace and agility of a Hakeem Olajuwon. The third of this spectacular trio could be the best overall player of them all. Buckers had high expectations entering UConn and did not disappoint. She became the first UConn player to score 30 points in 3 straight games, and if you know the history and players of UConn women's basketball, you know that's something. She was named WBCA Freshman of the Year, named to the All-Final Four team, and took home the AP Player of the Year, Naismith College Player of the Year, USBWA Women's National Player of the Year, and the John R. Wooden Award, the first freshman to win any of those national awards. Oh, and her 168 assists were the most by a freshman in program history. Her last 2 seasons, however, have been hampered by injuries, with surgeries on her ankle prior to her sophomore season, and later in the season, a fractured foot. She came back late in the year and helped UConn reach the NCAA Finals before falling to South Carolina. Then the lady known as Paige Buckets missed her entire junior season after tearing her ACL in a pickup game in August and has just been sitting, rehabbing, and waiting to go show the world who the real baller is. They have been among the best players in the game since high school, and they still are. This year, Reese's LSU team is ranked number one in preseason polls. Buckers and UConn is ranked second, and Clark and Iowa are ranked third. They are among the top three players in the game, leading the top three teams. So let the games begin. America is waiting.
Good piece. Good piece, Rick.
Thanks, Coach. This should be an interesting season. I mean, last year, it started with team in South Carolina. Could they go back to back? And then Clark and Iowa just out of nowhere, it seemed. And then Reese and LSU. But I'm really excited to see Paige this year.
Yes.
And just see this. And if she can stay healthy, oh my goodness, UConn is going to be something.
And she tore that knee up twice. It take a lot to come back the first time. But the second time, as soon as she got ready to come back, see, she was the talk of women's basketball. Now, and that's one of the things I'm glad you did that piece on her as we go into the season. Those are at least three individuals whose teams you want to follow, not even counting South Carolina. Not even counting South Carolina. So, those things are going to be really kind of important as basketball season gets ready to tip off. Women's basketball is the thing, and they're selling the tickets for the women's Final Four in Cleveland already. And the season hadn't even started. Men don't go on sale for 3 months. But it's going to be a sellout. But I'll probably be there. It's in Cleveland. All things Cleveland.
All things Cleveland.
All things Cleveland. Yeah, you got to rep your hometown, Cleveland and Merritt Island. Those are my hometowns. And man, I appreciate the love we still get from the Merritt Island people today. They come on and watch the show and send it to their friends. And us having Waldo on, about a month ago, and people remembering him even at Florida State. But man, that's really special. Oh, I got to remember too, to thank all those people who came to open house for the leadership day camp, and you need to make sure.
Tell them spots are limited. You better get in now.
Thank you, Rick. Better tell them. Man, Dr. White did an excellent job, didn't he?
Always does. I love having them on the show. Indeed.
And the girl being electrocuted. See, those are those things that you don't know unless you're there. And that's the first time I had heard that story. And we had some comments I couldn't even get to with people like, wow, Doc might have saved her life.
Yeah.
You see the lights, and you were like, as you watch it, each time you watch that segment with Prince, you see more. They make such an entrance at first when he comes on, and then they kind of disappear on the slow song, and you think you see him in some shots, but you're not sure it's them until the third song. You're like, oh, that was the 100. They were on the field the whole time. And then there was some, Dr. White's been through a lot, and I'm glad to see he takes a licking and keeps on ticking. He keeps on representing the school, keep being involved, and still a lot of love. Because one thing about the Marching 100, they support each other. They really do. You know, they learn that. And I love how he talks about Dr. Foster. You know.
Yes.
You know, and giving all credit to him for being there with him. You know, we just love that. We really do. Rick, anything before we close?
Special shout out to my wife, Dr. Leslie Brown, former Marching 100 player, Piccolo. She was I'm glad that I feel a little connection every time Dr. White is on, because if it wasn't for the 100, I would have met my wife. So thank you, Dr. White. Thank you, Marching 100.
I know that's right. That has to be something you're proud of there. I heard you keep talking about the music in the background. I said, go ahead, Rick.
I love music, Coach, and the Marching 100 is just the sound, the quality. It's unmatched. I'm sorry. I don't care about Southern. I don't care. And y'all have great bands. Grambling, great band. Cookman, well, we're not going to go to Cookman. But what I'm saying is Norfolk State, great band. Hey, March 100, baby. Florida A&M. Y'all know. We set the pace, baby.
I appreciate it.
Hello, everybody. You should get INSiiGHTS on your phone. It's an app you get it on your phone, iPad, YouTube TV, or just YouTube. And it's going to be about a lot of sports. It's about to be girls or boys, or you can just look it up. Bye.
Your attention, please. Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.
There you go. Get it on your app. Tell them, Rick.
It's live. And you won't miss it. You won't miss it. And if you miss some shows, you could go back. It's all there. It's like Netflix, baby. You just pick and choose. You got it, baby. Just for you.
I appreciate you, Rick.
Coach, hey, always lovely kicking in with the news. It's just something about you, men of Kappa Alpha Psi. Y'all is just so smooth.
And shout out to my Browns. Boy, they beat the undefeated team in what they consider the #1 team in the NFL with a third-string quarterback from the XFL that hadn't been in camp for 3 weeks. Man, that was a big time win. And somebody said, yeah, he missed that field goal, and otherwise y'all have lost. I said, do you know how many games we lost because somebody missed the field goal? Or we have players out. You got to remember, Deshaun Watson was out. Nick Chubb was out. Joe Patino was out. Conklin was out. 60% of our line was out. So, and all our stars on offense. But we were able to win anyway. At the end of the day, they count the score.
Hey, if it was a fifth, I'll be feeling pretty toasty right now.
You mean more toasty?
I wouldn't either confirm nor deny that.